back at the Yellowstone Metro between games now, getting ready for that Glendive-Lewistown game. Certainly exciting preliminary game, that consolation game, a two-point affair. And now as we get ready for the consolation game, Jay Cohn, Steve Sotak here along with Pat Carney. There has been a history of some tremendously exciting championship games, certainly none more exciting than last year, Jay.
Well, last year's game played in the Bozeman Fieldhouse had to be one of the classics, and to tell us more about that, let's go down on the floor to Pat Carney, who's got a special report.
Indeed, it was a classic game last year, really a dream matchup. Two teams that really wanted to play each other, the 1983 state champions from Livingston against the 1984 state champions from Butte Central. Let's go back 1 year ago.
March 16th, 1985, a classic showdown. Livingston, the 1983 state champions, led by sharpshooter Shann Ferch, would battle the 1984 state champions, Butte Central, with their tall front line, led by Tom Kinney.
Since that previous year that we took the consolation championship, we thought about playing Butte Central.
We were ranked number 1 and 2 most of the year, and we were really glad to just be able to play them in the championship.
The first half was fast-paced. Neither club could get the upper hand. At the break, the Rangers of Livingston led by 2, 38-36.
Well, I knew we were right in the game. You know, 2 points is no big deal, so we knew we could come back, and we started going down low and just pounding it in on them because they were a little shorter than we were.
By pounding the ball inside, Central took control. They built up an 8-point lead midway through the final period.
At one point, I thought there was no way we could win it when we came down to the end, and we were down with only a few minutes left, and we were down, you know, what, 6 or 8.
Shann's such a good player that he came down under the pressure and really hit the shots.
2 3-point plays by Ferch brought the Rangers back. Yet when Kenny made 2 free throws with 9 seconds to go, the Maroons still were on top by 2. Ferch would counter. He has this nice pass inside to Randy Petrich, who lays it off the glass for 2, tying the score at 79 and sending the contest into overtime.
For some reason, I went off one foot. I remember that. I went up off one like this, but then Petrich was streaking in from the left, so I knew I had to hit him. He was wide open. Hit him.
Shooting from 20+ and hitting 3-point shots, and we were fouling him. He was making the free throws, and he was just passing the ball to open players, and they were hitting the shots. It was just incredible.
We couldn't do anything against him. I don't know. It seemed like every time I turned around, another one of our big guys were fouling out, and, you know, we didn't really have anybody that could guard him. It just, they'd throw it into him, and we'd all be standing around him.
Kenny ties the game at 97 with a pair of free throws. The ball comes into John Moran. He is fouled by Martin Ferder while racing down for one final shot. With 1 second to go, Moran hits 2 free throws. A last-second Maroon effort is just short. Livingston wins 99-97 in double overtime.
Well, the only thing that I could really say was praise the Lord. I remember that, definitely. That's all I said, was just praise the Lord for about the next 20, 30 seconds or so, because it was just seemed like a miracle that we could win something like that. We were behind every single time. Going down to the last few seconds, it seemed like we were behind.
You know, you wanted to win it, but it was still a thrill of a lifetime to be in the championship in the first place.
Yes, it was a thrill to play in a championship game. It has been ever since the first one in Montana back in 1911. Yet this game, the 1985 Class A State Championship, may have been the greatest of all time. It certainly was the greatest two-man duel in championship history. Tom Kenny scores 39 points. Shann Ferch gets 37. His team wins by 2. Yet the real winners that night were the fans of Montana. It was a dream matchup that turned into a dream game. 2 marvelous young athletes from 2 tremendous basketball teams. It will be a championship game that will be long remembered.
I'll always remember it. I mean, you can't get any better. 99-97, there's no way it can get any closer. And
that's the kind of game that every kid that, as he goes up through high school, dreams of taking the state championship in a game like that, you know. You dream of taking the state championship, but always in overtime, winning by 2.
Indeed, a thrill to play in a state championship basketball game, and right now 24 young men from Lewistown and Glendive got lots of butterflies because they are going to have one of the experiences of a lifetime playing in a Montana State Championship game. Up next, Jay Cohn and Steve Sotak will preview the 1986 State Championship game right here on the MTN Network. Stay tuned.